Good evening. It is January the 3rd. Welcome to Go Beyond. Tonight you're going to need your chair and a pair of weights. We are going to be using the chair for a couple of things, and then we'll be going to the floor towards the end of the class. So just be aware that you're going to be in definitely different planes. We're going to start off our class tonight with some 4-2-4-2 breathing. So I want you to stand up nice and tall. Let your feet just go to the natural position that they want to be in. Shrug your shoulders up and then let them rest. We're going to take a nice deep breath, and when you breathe, I want you to feel from here to here, from your sides and front to back. So you're going to feel that whole breathing cylinder as much as you can in a count of 4 breaths. We're going to hold it for 2, and then we're going to exhale for 4 with an additional 2 seconds at the bottom if you need to, because you want to try to press out as much air as you can. We will do this for 3 rounds. Everybody ready? I'm just doing the hands. If you want to do the hands as a cue, you're certainly welcome to. But visually, it just lets you know where I am when it comes to breathing. Here we go. Again. One more. All right. The idea behind that, it's very much called intentional breathing, because you're trying to fill up all of the areas. You're trying to get your lungs to expand, not your tummy. Okay. So you're not doing stomach breathing. So when you breathe, you're not expanding this out here. You're filling up all your lungs. And then you're kind of, when it's doing that front to back and side, you're kind of making the air hit those pockets so that you're feeling it back here and you're feeling it right here. And the reason why you do it from here to here is because you want your lungs to push on your internal organs a little bit, because that's what they're supposed to do, which is why we say fill it from here to here. If you feel that push in a good way, you're going to feel it down in your pelvis, because that air has kind of pushed things versus you stomach breathing and pushing it out where you don't really feel it in the bottom of your pelvis. So that kind of gives you an idea of where you're going to be feeling it. Everybody feels it differently, and that's okay. Let's do a little warm up here. We're just going to roll the shoulders. Yeah, I know I've got my jacket on. It's not warm enough here just yet. Make sure when you do this, you're kind of hitting all those points, getting your shoulder blades in the back. 2 and 1. Let's bring one shoulder up and then gently let it down. Bring the other shoulder up. And let it down. We're going to roll the shoulders back, trying to push your shoulder blades together. And then roll the shoulders forward as if you're trying to make them touch. While you have them in this position, breathe through those open shoulder blades. So inhale. Feel that pull through there, and then exhale and roll your shoulders back to normal position. All right, lift. So you're not going to do this fast. You're going to do slow. You're going to lift and balance and stop. Lift and stop. So it's not just a wiggle wobble from side to side. You're wanting to pull that heel up, hold that balance position, flex that foot while you're doing it, work those quads. And let's start with a front knee lift. Bring it here. Go ahead and capture it so you can get in that balance position. Now let's keep our toe pointed down towards the floor. Good. Do what you need to do. If you do need a balance assist, please feel free. We're going to do one more. This time we're going to capture. There you go. So use your opposite hand and capture your foot. So you get that under here. Just a little balance movement. Good. One more. Little ankle rotation. And the jacket comes off. All right, we're going to move to our chair, where we're going to do a variety of things. Mainly, well, no, we're going to do a variety of things. I'm in the corner now. All right, we're going to do seated jacks, Roman soldiers, crisscross abs. It's got a nice pace. Here we go. You're going to go up and in. Now try to pick up both feet and then set them down. This song has some nice pacing, which is why I thought this is perfect for that. And you can already go into a little bit of abs if you're doing that little bit of a lean back. And let's double time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Check it out. Roll your shoulders, sit back up, arms out and down. Long legs, shoulder, 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 shoulder. So you have long arms, long legs. So just make it a raise. Stop the twisting, just straight up. There you go. Lift, lift. Point those toes. Point, 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 point. Now, flex the hands and those feet. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and point. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring those knees in. Just march it for me for a moment. Sit up straight again. If you started laying back, that's fine. Okay, we're going to knees, knees. Here's where you're going to get that little rotation in, that little bit of a crunch. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. March it. Do a little bit of a rock. Make sure your back is okay. A little bit of a built-in hula the other way. All right, grab hold of your chair. We're going to do knee lifts. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going to go right into crunch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Long arms and shoulders. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And roll your hips forward. Stay seated on your chair for just a moment. Roll your belly button towards the top of your thighs and just breathe down into this stretch. And then breathe it up. And just do a little rock from side to side. That's a lot of what we started off. It's a lot of pressure on your lower lumbar, so we want to make sure we take care of that before we stand back up, because we are standing back up. We're going to go into hip hinges. We're going to do 3 rounds of hip hinges. We're going to have a break in between them. So we're going to do our hip hinge warm up. Here we go. All right. Nice stance here. Use a chair if you need to. All right, go ahead and push back. Don't stick your butt out. Roll your belly button towards your thighs. Make sure your weight is between your heels and your toe box. You lift your toes, so it's right in the toe box. So you're feeling it right here. Head and neck in neutral. Turn this way. I'm gonna crane up and look at you guys. Here we go. Pulse, the movement is from your hips, not from your shoulders. Your shoulders are only moving because your hips are doing that little closing of the gap. Head and neck are up in that good position, not looking down at the floor, looking out the floor. Make sure, because we're altering what we do just a smidge, that your weight is between your heel and that, say, that knuckle at the back of that big toe. So you can feel the weight distribution there. Hold on, just keep going. Got a really quiet break. Let's go a little lower. You just drop into the squat a little bit more, making sure the weight is all through your foot now. Just stay right here. Come up and take a breath if you need to. If it starts to get to be too much on your back. But we have about 20 more seconds left. Breathing. Breathing's awesome. Stop. Arch your back and roll it up. All right. Pick up your heels because you want to loosen this up. And then go ahead and pick up your weights. You want to hold your weights nice and long in your arms because we're going to do our handshake pendulum move, which means you don't take your hand out any higher than you would shake hands with somebody. Same thing in the back. And then switch. Switch. Nice tall posture. Switch. Switch. There you go. So you're not lifting it up shoulder high. Just right about belly button, lower sternum high. Switch. 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 Now we're going to do a double. You're going to do one pulse. You're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice long arm. 1, 2, 1, 2. Shoulders relaxed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Now we're going to do 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2. Now doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And singles. 1, 2. They're slow. 3, 4. Now you're going to turn your palms. 1, 2. Sit that back with a little harder. 3, 4. Let's pick up just a little bit. Normal position. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. This is our walking motion. Make sure you had a little stop. And wow, that ended a lot faster than I thought it was going to. Okay, we're going to put this down. But we're literally going to put them down on the floor, okay? So we're going to put our toes on these little boogers. So get them set, put them down, set your feet on the floor right behind them, and then put your toes up and decide, do you want it wider? If you do, adjust it and make it wider. I'm going to go just a smidge wider because I like a wider stance. And if you're barefooted, it's a kind of interesting thing because you're going to see your toes kind of do that wraparound. If you got your shoes on, you don't quite have that same thing, and that's okay. It's a little bit of difference. But get your toes up on there. All right. So what I want you to be thinking about when you're doing this, your heel is firmly on the ground. With your toes up, your calves are probably in full stretch mode, which is why we're hanging out here for just a moment before we start the music. When you start to sit back, of course, your knees are going to bend, which is great because you want them to do that. But you want to take that belly button, tug it towards your thighs, and sit back until you feel it coming through the back of your knee, which is where you're going to feel it, all the way up into your glutes in the back. All right, let's come back up. Y'all stay right there. I'm going to start the music. All right. Let's go back in here. We just want to hold that position for just a few moments. Head and neck at neutral. You're not going to go necessarily as low as we did a while ago because your toes are up and your muscles are saying, I need stretch. And that's what we're doing. Pulse gently. And remember, again, the pulse is all in your hips. It's your hip taking your belly button closer to your thighs. Boom, boom, boom. Relax your shoulders. All right. Now, how's everybody feeling? You doing good? Thumbs up if you're doing okay. All right. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to stay in this position, stay in this pattern, and you're going to do a slight weight shift from left to right, hitting your glute here. So you just turn left, right. So you're pressing into that muscle. You should feel it. There's not a whole lot of other movement. Your knees might want to bend a little bit more because you're shifting. So you want to really try to keep the shift internalized into that hip flexor area where the joint is. You can actually put your hand right there in that joint, and as you flex from one side to the other, you feel the muscle moving. I never asked you to do this in a big class. You're at home. Nobody's going to see you. Double. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Finish this and back to center and just pulse. Be mindful of what your back is doing. Make sure you get that belly button tucked in. You're going into your glutes. And then now we're at neutral. You're not looking down at the floor, you're looking out. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring yourself upright. Step off. I want you to come up on your toes, up and down just a couple of times to kind of get your ankles back into the game. And then pick up your feet. All right. Step away from your knees. We're going to keep them right there because they're in good position. Go wide. All right. A little jazz. We're going to work on the inner thighs. So basically, when you go left, your right arm is going to go down and your left arm is going to go up. So you're going to just go here and here. Now, how you do your arms is entirely up to you. If you want to turn your body and go that way, you can. If you want to keep your body straight and do a raise, it's about the stretching. You want this leg long, this leg bent, and here. It's jazz, which means you can make a lot of mistakes and nobody will ever know, because it's jazz. Stretched in your inner thighs. You're welcome to go lower if you like. Remember, how you turn your body is entirely up to you. I'm adding a little torso rotation, but I'm also just doing the other one as well. I want to just add some of this. My torso relative. And then I'm going to go back to turns. So there's all kinds of ways to add a simple modification to make it a little more intense. Let's come to the center for just a moment. And just sit into the knees, stretch inner thighs right there. All right. Keeping the hands down, we're going to just push back on the curtsy lunge and gently reach to try to touch the toes. Nice and slow. So your focus here is you're doing that hinge into the toe touch, pressing back into that big muscle. Opposite arm is going back. Good. If you don't reach your toes, that's fine. One more. All right. Come up, those heels again. Guess what we're doing now? Heels on the weights. So step in front, back your heel right up onto the weight. Song is not nearly as long, I promise you. Because your heels are up, your center of gravity is going to go forward, which means you need to focus on pushing the hips back first. So push your hips back. It may take you longer to get there. And then, of course, your toe box and your toes are on the floor, so make sure they're spread out, doing their job. Pulse, 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 pulse. There you go. Just a nice, slow little pulse. You're already in fairly closed position. And we're more than halfway done. Pulse, pulse. If you're resting your hands on your thighs, try not to press. Okay, just gently let them rest there. Otherwise, you're going to start cutting off circulation to your quads. Pulse, 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 pulse. 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Ooh, shake those legs out and pick those weights up. Nice little hip hinge here. Let's do some arms. Little small twin, fast twitch. All right, keeping your weights centered at chest level. Walk your elbows up. And when you get your elbows to shoulder level, turn it. And then you're going to start walking it back down. So you're going to go here, go through the cow. And then bring your weights back out here. Now we're going to walk the weights out. Back in. And if you want to move and step, it's good music. Okay, move the cow. Bring it up. Use the shoulders. Let's do a little in and out here. 4, 3, 2, 1, and shoulders. And move the cow. And switch it back into your bicep. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. The next thing we're going to be doing, and we're doing 3 songs worth of this. So your goal is to do at least 3 per song. If you do more, hey. If you don't do more, that's fine too. But we're going to do walkout, plank walkouts. Do a really aggressive song first. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to start in a wide position with hip hinge. So you're going to have wide feet so that you can hinge right into that hip hinge right here. Put your hands down on the ground. And then you can either flat palm walk it out or fist palm. And now if you're going to walk it out on the fist, your fist needs to be like this. Strong wrist, thumb to the side, okay? Not tucked in because you'll break your thumb if you do that. So you're going to need to use that flat part here, your thumb to the side. So if you have wrist issues and you can't do this, nice sturdy fist with your thumb safely out of the way, but not tucked in, okay? So go to your hip hinge position. And then reach for the floor. Once you get there, take about, I don't know, 1, 2, 3. When you're like this, you're just nice and flat. And then walk yourself back in. Drop your hips and press up. We're not doing this fast. Like I said, our goal is 3 per song. The songs are about 2 minutes, minute 30 each. So take your time on your own count. Go ahead and get down, walk it out. You don't have to go all the way. If you can only go so far, then go so far. Hold it for at least 2 seconds. Walk it back in. Drop those hips and roll it up. Now I've done these already today, so I am actually going to steady fist mode. Again, I'm gonna try to get one more into this song. I'm gonna walk it out. Into my hold position. Walk it back in. Drop my hips. And come back up. Now, that is the wide hip position. What I want you to do now is to go to hip position where your feet are just hip width. And if you need to stay wide, go for it. Again, we have another song. It is about 2.5 minutes long. I want you to try to do at least 3. Take a breath, take a break in there when you need to. Here we go. We're going to go down into our hip hinge. It's a little harder when you're not wide to get to the floor. And then walk it out there. Make sure your butt's not sticking up in the air like this. Hold it for 2. And then walk it back in. Bend those knees, drop those hips, bring those shoulders up. There you go. When you come out of it, roll your shoulders, roll your wrists, take care of what you need to take care of. Here we go. Down. And then walk it out. Now, if you need to modify and you figure out a way to do that, that's fine. It's easier to do walkouts. You can do it on a bed or a couch as long as you're pushing in the whatever you're using is going towards the wall. Let's do another one. So that whatever you're walking on does not push away from you. And really, you only need to walk out as far as you can support safely. Drop those hips, lift those shoulders and come up. I'm going to take a moment to take care of my fingers because the carpet is not always friendly to your knuckles. All right, I'm going to do one more for this song and then I'm going to wait for the next one because we're doing it from closed stance. So let's do one more if we can. Bend those hip hinges, walk it out. Get over your shoulders, hold it for 2, and then walk it back in. Bend your knees, drop your hips, lift the shoulders, come up. All right. On the last song, which is only about 1:30, we're going to do it from closed stance, which means your feet are together. So I want you to try with the feet together. If that doesn't work, open your feet back up. Give yourself the ability to do it well because we want to, number one, do it well. But you have to push down both just a little bit to see how well you're doing. So let's close those feet. Roll your wrists a little bit. So when you're doing the hip hinge with the closed position, you really have to get into that rear end back. And then walk it out. Nice and slow, feet are together. Hold that body for 1, 2. And then as you start walking back in, you're going to have to use the toes and the knees to get back to the heels. Lift the chest and raise. Remember, you don't want to lift through your lumbar. You want to raise that shoulders up a little bit first. Draw the head up. All right, let's do another one. Here we go. Hands, knees, walk it out. Straighten your body. Hold for 2. Toes, knees, bend. Bring the chest up and use the quads to push. All right, one more and we'll be done, I promise you. Here we go. Planks in for a penny, in for a pound. And then begin to fold back in. Lift those shoulders, come up. Woo. All right, go ahead and walk a little bit, get a drink if you need to. All right, we're going to do abs, so you can go ahead and grab your weights and your chair. Did I turn the music up? I did. Oh, that's right. This song's slow and slow. Weights and the chair. Okay. Sit on the front edge of your chair. Take your feet to 45. All right, and you're gonna hold the weight between your middle finger and your pointer finger. Just relax your shoulders right into position right here. Okay, belly button is pushing forward, not back. And just do a gentle lean. Again, your goal is not to touch the floor here. You're doing an oblique stretch. Shoulders and hips are in line. And you're simply reaching for the remote that got jammed inside your couch, which is why you can't actually touch the floor. All right? So we're going to warm those muscles out of the hips up. We did rotation earlier. Let's do 2 more. 1 and 2. Come back to our station. Open your feet a little bit more and take your feet up just a little bit more, almost to ab position, so your toes are just beyond your knees. Okay, with this open position, it will actually allow you to bend more, so we're actually going to lean more towards the floor. If you're touching, go ahead and lean into that. If you're not, still stretching. We'll do 8. This is number 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Go ahead and come on up. All right, everybody look at your chair, see where your back legs are. That's telling your mind where you're going to go. So keeping your shoulders here, you're going to lean back towards that back leg and touch. Come back up straight. Lean back and touch. Now we count. 1, 2. Keeping your shoulders in good position. 3. 4. That's why you had to look first before you started doing it. 5. 6. And if your legs suddenly change places, let me know. 7. And 8. And we're going to come to center. Bring the weights up here. Walk your feet in. Pose those positions. Toes are just out here. Go from 90 to 80. Now let's just pulse it right through here. So it's a very small move. You're going to feel it right here at the very top of your abs, right below your rib cage, below your sternum. We're just going to ease that one out through the end of the song, which has the world's finest little bridge piece. Gentle pulse. Good. Small pulse. Got about 10 more seconds. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. All right, go ahead and set these to the side. All righty. Take your feet to 45. Go ahead and rock on the chair for me. Remember, your seat might not lift all the way up, but I want the bone to leave the chair so that when you switch to the other side, you feel the bone press. All right. Come up here and just kind of squeeze through that part. Squeeze through there. If you feel your ribs start to hang up, stop. One more here. One more here. All right. We're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to tuck our belly button towards our abs, and we're going to lean forward and rest our elbows on our knees as we exhale. So take a nice deep breath. Keeping your head up and your chin up. Lean forward. And then once you get in this position, let your neck go to neutral. Make sure your toes have wiggle room so that you're able to wiggle them. You're just pressing into your inner thighs. Your lumbar is supported, pushed into the right place. Your head and neck are at neutral. You're not looking down, you're looking out. You should be looking at it roughly 45 degrees. And then keeping this nice position, you're going to just bring this position up. You're not going to roll your back. You're just lifting from the hips, coming back up this direction. Touch your shoulders. Rotating on your spine. Simply turn right here. Stop when you need to. And then come back to center. Rotate on the spine. You're not trying to touch anything. You're not trying to go as far as you can. You're just turning until your body says, I can't go any further. Back to center. All right. Hands out. Flip those fingers down. So you would be stretching long from the top of your shoulder all the way through. Feel that stretch. Chin is at neutral. Drop your elbows just a little bit and back so that you're pushing down into your shoulders. And then take those shoulder blades together. 3, 2, 1. Hold the fingers up behind your head. Lace them. Now hold your neck steady. You're not pushing your head forward, but you are going to push your elbows back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your elbows in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise your hand. Keep your fingers locked and laced. And just roll through the shoulder blades. And then just bring your hands here. All right, rest your hands on the top of your thighs, palm up so that your arms are not doing anything. We're going to breathe our 4-2-4-2 again. I'll do the cue of the 2. Ready? In and out. And up. One more time, as deep as you can go. And we're done. All right. I'm going to turn off the video. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we will talk on the flip side.